How to prove you are a genuine temporary entrant with student visa applications. Genuine temporary entrant, or GTE, is one of the core criteria in student visa assessments. Illustrated in the clause 500.212, and the Minister has given a specific guideline on how to assess GTE in a direction made under Section 499 of the Migration Act 1958. It's called Direction 69. It's how a case officer would assess whether an applicant meets the GTE criteria or not. To maximize the chance of your student visa application, you must understand GTE and provide a written statement according to Direction 69, especially if your visa application is of a high risk. For example, the course you're studying is lower than your highest qualification on the AQF hierarchy, or you're a mature student, or from a so-called high-risk area. Let's unpack the so-called Direction 69. It is not as complicated as it sounds. First, it is to consider the applicant's circumstances in their home country. That could include things like your family composition, the amount of assets you own, your employment status, and the reasons why you're not undertaking the desired studies in your home country, as well as many other ties you can think of. The more ties you have with your home country, the better. Of course, if you're a very young student, you don't have any assets, don't stress out. The decision maker will apply their common sense. They're unlikely to refuse a visa to study for high school merely based on insufficient financial ties to their home country. Why not undertaking the same course in your home country is particularly important, especially at the Administrative Reviews Tribunal. I have seen many times tribunal members ask the review applicant this question, and the applicants rarely answer this question well enough if he or she isn't well prepared. I can't tell you an answer fit for all, but what I can tell you is that you need to compare the entry requirement and job outcome of similar courses in your home country to the courses you have applied for, and try to make a link to your career plan. Second, the decision maker will consider your potential circumstances in Australia if you were granted the visa. Contrary to the ties to your own country, the less ties you have to Australia, the better it is. While most applicants do not have any relatives or assets in Australia, there are those who have close relatives, such as a partner, uncle, auntie, or grandparents in Australia. While it doesn't necessarily mean the visa will be refused, but you need to be aware that these factors are not particularly helpful in assessing a GTE. The third, and probably the most important consideration, is the value of the course to your future. You should clearly explain to the decision maker about your future career plan with reasons. If it is a chef, do you love to cook? If it is a data engineer, do you choose it because it's paid well? Again, there are no set answers, but your statement needs to make sense to a reasonable person. Then you also must link the course to your career. It's a simple question: how exactly this course will benefit you in the future? Be specific. Before writing this part, have a close look at the course outlines of the units, the core units and elective units of your study. Usually there's a section called Study Outcome or something similar. I promise you, you will find them helpful. Fourth, your immigration history. Have you been refused a visa to Australia? Have you ever overstayed your visa or had your visa cancelled? If you're applying onshore, how long have you been studying in Australia? Was there any significant study gaps between your studies? For some, situations can be very complicated. Then we encourage you to seek professional assistance from a registered migration agent or lawyer. These are some of the main considerations provided by Direction 69. However, your submission is not limited to those. You can include information that is helpful to your case. We do not recommend providing information that is not relevant to the assessment of GTE, because if it is not helpful, then it is distracting. Trust me, you want to keep your submission powerful yet concise. Oh, I almost forgot. I cannot emphasize enough that you should write your GTE statement by yourself. Your representative may draft a professional submission based on your statement, but the ideas must come from you. I repeat, the ideas must come from you. Many students leave it completely in the agent's hands and even think that is a sign of good service. But it's not. If the idea does not come from you, you expose yourself to huge risks if the department chooses to conduct a telephone interview. The preparation for it is a process to organize your thoughts. Should there be a telephone interview, you will be able to answer the interviewer's question clearly and consistently with your submission. These are our 2 cents on how to prepare a submission on the GTE criteria. You have to understand, at the end of the day, the determining factor are your own circumstances. A good GTE submission will help you to make a good representation, but it cannot guarantee a successful outcome. There have been talks that the Labour government plans to introduce a genuine student test, GST, to replace the GTE. However, the legislation change has not been made yet. Until then, you're stuck with GTE. And we hope our video will help you to maximize the chance of a success with your student visa applications. My name is Sean Dong, an immigration lawyer from Practical Legal. Until next time.